Hello everybody and welcome back to another Uma Musume video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about sparks. So, yeah, we're going to hopefully go into and get every single little detail down. Hopefully it's a quick one, and hopefully it's not an information overload. I'm going to try to break down this into simple details, and hopefully I'll put timestamps. I definitely will, I swear. Anyways, let's kind of just jump right into this and kind of break down what the heck sparks are and how to get them and basically what they really do. So, what's starting with what sparks are? Well, sparks are essentially things that you will get when you finish a career or maybe even fail a career. Who knows? But every single veteran Uma Musume is going to be basically getting sparks, regardless if you win or fail. Now, hopefully you have successfully completed a whole career or more, but essentially you're going to be given sparks, and these are kind of just based on chance. Now you have 4 different types of sparks. You have a blue spark, which is based on stats, the pink spark, which is based on the style of race that you're doing, and you have a green spark, which is based on the ultimate, and then you have the white sparks, which is based on running fields and skills and ability, basically the skills that you can get throughout the game. And all these are basically influenced by chance, how you kind of trained your Uma in your career. So let's kind of just break this down and kind of hopefully get through everything. Now I do have a bit of a chart here, so I will put these when I'm gonna kind of talk about it. But yeah, let's kind of go into this. Let's start with the first one, the very basic one, and in fact the thing that probably everyone is trying to farm right now, which is the blue stat, or the blue spark. The blue spark is probably one of the most important sparks currently in our game, just because right now we're kind of just barely starting and we really want those just so that we can propel our Umas really quickly. So, I guess kind of just to start this off, we have 3 stars to be able to get on 1 spark, and each star basically increases the amount of stat bonuses that you can kind of get for the blue spark. And at the first star, you'll be getting 5 bonus points. That's why for every beginner you see 5 points for virtually every single stat, or for 3 specific stats. The next one is 2 stars, and for 2 stars you actually get 12 stat bonuses, which is pretty insane, to be quite honest. And then for 3 star, you get a maximum of 21. That's why it's very coveted to get a 3 star stat, because the difference between a 1 star and a 2 star is already really big, and a 2 star to a 3 star is even bigger. That's why having 3 stars, such as right here, is very good. This would be really bad. So you can basically have a total of 9 stars for the blue spark and get a total of a 63 stat increase, which is the highest you can get for one of the legacies. If you have 2 legacies that both have 9 stars, you'll be getting a total of 126. Sorry, I could not do math for a second, but yes, 126 stat at the beginning. Not to mention that you will be getting 2 separate inspirations in your career, which means you'll get even more stat bonuses. That's why it's very important to really focus on these for right now. Now, obviously, when we get further in the game, you can start focusing on maybe pinks and, the white ones, and perhaps even the ultimate. The ultimate is kind of the green one is a weaker version. We'll kind of just go through them real quick. They are not as important, but they are important eventually, but just right now they're not. So the pink one is basically your style, and basically at a certain spark, obviously, you'll be able to increase your style from whatever it originally was and increase it a few levels. It kind of varies depending on what you have. For example, let's see. So we have gold ship right here. My gold ship is at front D, pace B, late A, and end A. Well, if you were to take a normal gold ship, front is actually a G aptitude, late is a B aptitude, meaning that this aptitude has increased from a B to an A, and this has increased from a G to a D, which means you go from G, F, E, D. So you've increased by a total of three levels. So I'm pretty sure each star just means 1, is what my understanding is. No one has really I haven't really seen anyone that completely explained it, but that's my understanding. Next will be the white sparks, which the white sparks are basically the abilities that you can get and the hints that you can get. So for example, this, you would get 2 stars. If you have 2 stars on straightaway acceleration and you get it during an inspiration, you'll be getting 2 hints on the straightaway acceleration. And that means that's like a 20% discount, I think, or 15%. I don't remember. Or maybe it was just 10%. Not 100% sure. I kind of just see if I need it or not. And some of these are pretty good, like for example, corner recovery, probably one of the best skills in the game, or stamina because the activation condition is pretty good. Or you can also go with, I don't know, something else, but we're not going to go into what's good or not. This is mainly just to talk about the sparks themselves. And then we have the ultimates. The ultimates can only be gained when you have a 3-star UMA. So for example, if you have a 3-star character already, that you can inherit the ability, or the ability can be inherited by the next character. So for example, this character obviously has redshift, and this would be able to be inherited by goldship. And that's kind of about it. I mean, it is a weaker version of the ultimate. It is not going to be the ultimate itself, but it is going to be still an ultimate, and usually they're pretty solid pickups. I usually pick it up. So like for example right here, obviously warning shot is the ability, but I do have redshift in it, and it is a weaker version, but it is still pretty good. And for example over here, this is the ability. I forgot the character's name, sorry, but it's behind this character right here. They also had the ability to for this character, and I was able to pick that up too. And yeah, this basically makes a pretty strong character, especially for like passing at the very end. But yeah, so that's essentially that for sparks. Now the real important thing, how do we get them? So to be quite honest, it is straight up to chance. So I'm going to put this chart up here and basically kind of explain how to get them. But sparks are essentially just influenced by straight chance and how the career went. So for example, in the career, it's really influenced by these stats up here. So let me pull up a gold ship again. So as you can see, you have these stats up here. You know what, in fact, I'll pull up my character that has the 3-star thing, and I'll just tell you it's really chance. So as you can see, this is the character that has 3-star power. And looking at this, the stats aren't really anything to, you know, these aren't really amazing stats. These are just solid, okay stats. Now looking at this, the chance of me getting a 3-star spark for blues would be like 5% or 2%. I've heard a bunch of different numbers being pulled, but it seems between a number between 2 and 5%. And the reason for that is because it's based on the amount of stat you have and your certain stat bonuses. So for example, if you have a number below 600, you have a 90% chance for a 1-star and a 10% for a 2-star. The chances isn't really good for 2 stars, so I'll kind of leave it at that. Next, between the values of 600 to 1100, you have a 50% chance for a 1-star, a 45% for a 2-star, and a 5% for a 3-star. Or 2%. I honestly don't know. I think 5% sounds better though. Next, for stats that are over 1100, you have a 20% chance to get a 1-star, a 70% chance to get a 2-star, and a 10% chance to get a 3-star. Yeah, so as you can see, it is quite literally very random. Not only that, you have to beat the odds and hopefully get the stat that you want. So you have to beat the 1 out of 5 chance to get a, the spark that you want. So for example, I am actually trying to shoot for power currently. So I have to beat that 1 out of 5 chance. And then I'd actually have to have this hopefully roll into a 3-star power, which means because my stat is over 600 but below 1100, I have a 5% chance of getting this as a 3-star spark. 5% chance, which is very, very low. So it's like a 1 out of, let me think, 1 out of 100 chance of getting this, I think. Because I'd have to beat the 1 out of 5 and then have to beat the 1 out of 20 odds. So yeah, it's a 1 out of 100 chance to get it compared to like all these other things. I could even get like a 2-star spark or a 1-star. Yeah, so it is kind of difficult if you don't really have anything to boost the chances. I am still even trying to get my other sparks, but it's okay. So yeah, it is a little, not disheartening to say, but it is a little grindy, but it is really worth the do. And to be quite honest, I had I believe a 7 out of 9 power, or 7 out of 9 spark for one of my races, and I literally did not have to invest in much power, which is kind of the main reason why I'm investing it right now, or trying to shoot for it so I don't have to do it in the future. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of essentially it for sparks. I mean, there's not really too much more about this because, yet again, we are in the early phase, and I'd really just recommend focusing on the blue sparks. You don't really have to focus on the other stuff or the other sparks because currently we're just too early, and it's more important to focus on that. Now let's talk about the very last thing though, which is going to be the affinity. So the thing is with the affinity, it's kind of it's an interesting thing because it is kind of hard to really focus on this or kind of pay attention to this, just because currently in the game we are really behind, and this is more of a you're very in the late game and you really want to have more stats beyond this 1200. So there are 3 types of affinity. So there is the triangle, there is the circle, and there is the double circle. The double circle means great compatibility. Obviously the circle just means pretty good, and then the triangle is just, it's not very good compatibility. And I mean, all it just really means is that I'm pretty sure all it does is just influence the amount of bonuses that you get per inspiration. Doesn't do anything in the early game because it's pretty basic. You'll just be getting these 2 usually. That's about it. So like, for example, these are the stats that are laid out and these are the stats that you will be getting. So I mean, that's kind of about it. If you want to increase your compatibility more, it's really into like the numbers of the game. So like, it's even influenced from the real life. For example, I believe it's like what races have they won or together and like stuff like that. I'm gonna put a like little calculator chart thing in the end. Like, honestly I don't really know how it works because I didn't really research this, because someone told me it's not important, don't really focus it. So I'm taking their advice and I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm just going to stress myself out on getting these 3-star sparks, and I recommend to do the same too. So yeah, that's about it. There's not really much more to this other than just that. So hopefully you guys found this, I don't know, helpful and quick and interesting, I don't know. And yeah, I'm wishing luck for your journey and your luck for this. And if you guys have 9-star sparks, or if heck, even like 7 stars and up, honestly throw your name out here because I kind of need them. Like seriously, I need like speed and power, mainly those 2, maybe even stamina. If you have those, please just throw your friend thing because I actually really need them. So yeah, this is a call out to you, please. Anyways, thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Goodbye everybody.